tonight, you see, and by the way, there is going to be mature content, given the holiday season and spirit, as well as the fact that, well, the characters are in a very interesting place. They are very much in hell. And I wonder just how much this place can, twist them, change them, challenge them, or will it defeat them? This isn't a fair place to live. It's not an arena that promises some sort of balance or compromise. This is a very harsh place. A place for the strong. And, well, there's more to it than that. Perhaps you've already started to explore it in our previous sessions. And if not, welcome, as things will be revealed, and you'll be along for the ride. Fortune may favor the bold, dragon. But remember this. There are old soldiers. There are bold soldiers. There are no old, bold soldiers. Sprig, are you favored? I suppose that would depend. What would you do if you were in the position of, well, Kazimir here? In fact, why don't we dip into the mind of Kazimir and establish a connection with him and find out what's going through his mind? How does he feel? All this fiendish plotting has had quite an effect on me today. Aha! We've made connection. Oh, I cannot hear you. You seem to be muted.
Yes, I muted myself.
Aha, there we go.
It's a bad time to eat a Jolly Rancher.
Well, you know, these old ears along with my own snow white hair, it is a little difficult to hear those unless they're screaming very loudly.
I put silver spray in my hair, but it doesn't show up on camera.
It does look a little dusty.
Yeah. It was like gray and then silver on top. I should have went with the white. Probably would have showed better. But the spray is like, it's terrible. The aerosol in there or whatever is bad.
Ah,
so
very
I'm
bitter.
not doing it again. Like I had the bathroom door wide open, but I was still like choking on it. So well, maybe next year.
Maybe next year. These are the times to learn lessons and to, I guess, enjoy what you can now while you have it. Otherwise, you'll go gray even if you don't wish to have it. And of course, maybe a little sparse on top.
I mean, I'm going gray early anyways.
Well, Kazimir, it is good to see you again, even if you don't recognize me in my current form.
Hey, Matty, may I put this toward adopting the changeling mini, please?
Ah, Kapadrazi, thank you very much, and of course, a changeling can be yours. We are going to be having a Bright joining us soon. Piloted by Fluffy Sheep, who I guess in a weird way would end up being the cricket familiar that Bright is so fond of, always piloting others and being a conduit into an interesting observation and fantasy realm. Again, as a reminder before we get going here, as we will be joined by our other players shortly, this is a mature stream tonight. I, as the Dungeon Master, will be providing some intense moments that could include strong language, gory descriptions, or other maybe unsettling topics that might challenge normalcy or other things that we might hold dear. You are welcome along for the ride. Well, I'm not sure if there's light at the end of the tunnel. Let me peek behind Kazimir a moment. Nope, that's pretty dark, actually. But I think we'll be able to get through this twisted hallway together. I hope Kazimir is ready to begin the adventure. We will start shortly here as Fluffy is sleeving into the gnome wizard known as Bright.
One moment, I'm still eating Jolly Rancher.
Well, enjoy the treats as you can. Maybe I too will partake.
We can start. Just the accent will be hard to do.
Very well. For all of you out there, I am going to be presenting to you a short story focused on the character Kazimir, played by Darkwolf. And Kazimir, as the title suggests, may very well be facing some crushed dreams. I have to wonder, though, what does one dream about if one doesn't necessarily sleep? You know, Kazimir, we did just have some downtime. You were actually able to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Given the things that you've been through and that you've done, have you had dreams? Lucid in your meditative state, or even that one time not too long ago that you actually allowed yourself to fall unconscious?
When trancing is always memory.
Ah, you're sifting through your memories. Do you put them into boxes? Do you use it to go back and replay things that have happened?
Yeah, probably just revisiting, seeing how things were, enjoying the moments.
I think that reflection then would show that you've, in such a short time, come a far way. I mean, look at yourself, Kazimir. What you are, where you are. You had an interesting life. I think at all points, given your skills and your wanderlust. And that's landed you here. Are you content? Are you content, Kazimir? I mean,
No,
waking up and finding this is your life.
I'm always after excitement. And currently, this is exciting.
Do you feel perhaps even a bit more huntery? bit more predatory, given your unique gifts.
It is very interesting to use.
Well, I believe where we had left off then, after having this little reflection, if you have any sort of morning traditions, eating or washing your face or anything along those lines, the accoutrements have been paid for by only a partially paltry sum. Maybe less than what you all had expected to pay, or at least monetarily. When you left your hotel, this is what waited for you outside, Kazimir. It wasn't the street that you remembered. It has similar construction, similar blocks, that similar glow of red-hot lava. The stifling sky, the lightning that seems to almost always streak off in one direction, and the occasional falling fireball, which hasn't harassed the city too much, though on occasion it does seem to strike an area higher up, here or there, like a metallic rod would attract lightning during a storm. You take this in. There is some sort of a large, not even just one, but several creatures, just gargantuan in size, alive, not dead, maybe undead, something. The one immediately in front of you has an exposed skull, curved horns as you see, lava pouring from its eyes. It appears to be chained. Behind it, further up, as you have descended into this spiraling city as it is going round and round and down, you do see another such giant horned skeleton. One hand, much like yours was formerly, very human looking, if not enlarged, or elven, if you prefer. Another has been elongated, and claws have grown from it. It has horns, though those horns are different. And a third still further up. Perhaps something you recall seeing in your periphery on your first entry to this blasted city. It is the highest up. Though interestingly enough, I thought you were funneling down. Why does it appear that the city, as it rises above you, be reaching a point? Well, a fireball's not falling on you right now. There's not a little red devil to pick your pocket, at least that you see scampering about, though I believe you've certainly earned a reputation among them as being quite fierce, even having driven off a larger foe that also recognized them in some way. You are quite the predator, Kazimir. It is a warm place like Aslandia, though instead of open sands, it's the compressed brick. Tell me, what is it you're doing? You've opened the door. I've presented you the scene as the master of your dungeon, in which you are, well, I suppose you're locked in a way. And it might appear that there is a small, pink-haired gnome beside you, who would see the same scene upon opening the door.
Hmm.
She was here. Just couldn't.
What was that?
She was here the whole time. Just couldn't tell.
Yes, you are quite small and hard to see. Hmm. What was goal?
It's a very good question. What is it that you're seeking out? Could very well be different today than it was yesterday. Do days exist? Hmm.
Hmm. We were looking for the Jaden.
Ah.
In the pit. We were going to the pit. So I guess we go towards pit, which should be in middle.
Supposedly, that's where it was indicated it being. You are going down, down, down. Pits are usually located in that general direction. Bright.
That's where we go.
Oh, all right. Bright. It would seem that Kazimir has resolved himself to go seek out the pit. Would you like to do the same? Or do you have something else on your mind? It would seem that our little gnome has stunned silent.
You can't tell I was talking all the time. It was like how you couldn't see me before now you can.
Ah.
It's one sense at a time. So soon you won't be able to touch me. I look around. Are the professor and Mordecai here, or is it just Kazimir?
The others are here. You all woke up and met. Mordecai was in quite a state. If you recall, Mordecai died again.
Yeah.
I believe he expressed the fact he could feel himself doing so, and how his heart had raced, yet he became colder, until finally it stopped, but he didn't. You gave him a yew-berry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
A wonderful, soothing, if temporary, form of relief.
Well, I mean, since this is where we were before, I think if we can find Jaden, I'd rather look for Jaden. That's why we came here. Plus, if we end up getting into a scrape at the pit, Jaden could come. So I'd rather look for Jaden. But I mean, Mordecai has the magic compass.
Yes.
So, Mordecai, what does the magic compass say?
Well, Mordecai and the professor are. I think they're talking. The professor needed to calm down Mordecai some. So Mordecai is back in his room, and really it was your all's. It was a suite. You each had your own little cove. In fact, I remember you had a fun, perfect-sized niche just for you, Bright.
Yeah, I call it a regeneration.
If you would like, you can go back and speak to them. Kazimir appears a little bit, well, I don't know. His eyes have been scanning over the stonework, these odd chained creatures. And of course, Kazimir has refused the administrations of the Uberry. But this is your call, Bright. Kazimir, I think, is ready to go look for this pit. You can attend, or you can go back and talk with the others.
No, I just, if Mordecai's indisposed, understand that he's been through a lot, so not everybody wants to be undead. So let's, Kazimir, whatever you think, I'll go with you. So if you wanted to go look for the pit, we could scout out the pit. You just shouldn't get too committed because we're only just the two of them.
Well, Jaden is a strong fighter. Jaden probably sort out the pit.
It's possible. Okay, well, it's worth a look. We've been curious to see it, so let's take a quick look.
Of course. All right, well, hopefully the professor can calm down Mordecai. And if you recall, there was a very interesting person behind the front desk. Would you like to leave a note for them, or do you just want to step out and explore the street? You know, you'll be right back.
Yeah, why don't we stop by and have a chat with them? I just a little bit of business. First, I want to thank them for their interesting facilities. You can't find a place like this. But also, because it seems like we might be staying an extra day, because we were supposed to only stay one night. Others are staying behind, so we should probably. So, I'll just let them.
Kazimir, it seems Bright is contenting herself to do the things that she needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem like it's taking too long. It's a little thank you note.
I can wait for a little one.
She returns, and it's Kazimir and Bright.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm ready if you are.
yeah.
Remember to watch the way we go so we get back.
I'm good with directions.
Okay.
All right. Exiting the inn. There's the street. I believe you're warned that there might be others who would make sure that you belong here. Of course, you've been through and passed several of those tests. I don't think today would be much different. Plus, Bright had tried to give you some magical surety with a kind of a cloaking spell.
Yeah. I bet it works. Not 100% sure. It should.
And you begin walking out. Not too far from the inn, there is a gurgling voice that is emanating from the chained figure? While it has been looking down and pouring lava out of its ocular orifices, it says, "I would know your heart." It speaks, doesn't seem to do much else except ooze lava.
Kazimir continues on.
Okay, right?
Yeah. I'll give him a look like, are you talking to me? Oh, you're not talking.
I would know your heart. Doesn't seem to answer your question, at least not directly, Bright. Though it does sound rather more insistent.
Kaz?
Hmm?
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to stop and talk to this guy. Why? Seems like this.
Fine. What do you want, big, tall, demon guy?
Approach.
Kazimir approaches.
What were the languages you speak again, Kazimir?
I know.
Besides Elven
Well-
and Common?
Well, other than Elven and Common, Infernal and Sylvan.
All right. Weird. It's more that weirdly accented Infernal. Bright. You speak Draconic, right?
No, that's
You-
the professor.
Oh, that's the
I only
professor.
speak Gnomish.
Gnomish.
I
Okay.
speak Gnomish, Elvish, and that's all. Surprisingly few languages, all things considered.
Do you have Helm of Language?
Yes, I do.
The words are the same. This was a little bit of fluff. Okay, so Kazimir, you, if you're on the street here, or do you want to walk up here? Do you want to walk up here? Do you just want to be on the street, off to the side here? It hasn't made any sort of movement. It hasn't even moved its mouth.
I'll walk up as close as I can without being in lava.
Okay. Sure.
I'll be right behind. Not in front of, definitely behind.
What do you want, big demon guy?
I'm going to enlarge you for the sake of seeing your token, but why don't we say you're here? Bright, I'm just going to keep you the same because I guess that works.
Smaller.
Yeah.
Kazimir is pretty much a large creature at this point.
It's true.
7 foot.
Agreed.
Who are you?
I am Kazimir. I am Hunter.
Hunter. Of what?
Anything that catches interest. Sandog, fairy, giants, fiends.
Giants. And how many giants have you seen?
Well, including you three, how many was that? 7. 7? 7.
A lucky
Right.
number. A surprising number. And yet you hunt them?
Yes, it's interesting. Actually, there were more, but those ones were dead when I got to them.
What if I told you that I was a giant too?
Well, from size would be very obvious.
If it were more obvious, would you fight me?
You're a Chad, you're not good prey.
What a shame. Still. And there's just a long moment. No, not a lot of people on the streets. In fact, it still seems to be just you two. despite being further into this city. And this moment, you can just hear the molten gloops as more of this substance pours from the face of this chained creature. And Kazimir, the head finally begins to. You just hear, the sound of just a dozen bone, like almost like a knuckles cracking, except on a larger scale, as this thing actually begins to take its head and look up. Though the molten ooze continues to come down its face and pour into the channel. I have a request for you, Kazimir.
And what is that?
Roll initiative. Bright, I will ask you to do the same.
But I don't get the. Oh,
22.
well, it's Casimir's story. I guess he gets to.
It would seem that fortune would favor the Kazimir here. All right. Kazimir, you are not, we're not in a surprised state. However, you are surprised when, after this thing has regarded you, and it didn't specifically request for you to roll initiative. This is your dungeon master speaking. But slipping back to this creature, the statement hangs in the air. However, this creature doesn't remain hanging on its chains. You can see its muscles and whatever's left of skin that it has bunch up, cord up. In an odd sense, almost reminding you the predatory way that the one known as Selter had moved before. Underneath this,
I have not been so.
I believe you were told tales.
I'm still tails.
Very, very accurate.
Muscles bunch, the chains creak, and the chain on the right hand that you see in a shower of sparks busts, and the claw continues its wicked arc, scraping out towards you. And mechanically, it didn't take a turn. This is, however, showing that this is quite an accommodating prey that apparently has challenged you and has met your condition for challenge. You may act as this thing has bust free of its chaining shackles, is standing almost waist deep in a canal of liquid fire, and really has the hots for you, Kazimir. What are you doing?
So how far away is he?
You know what?
Me stepping into lava.
Why don't we call this 40 feet away? Well, no, hang on. No, it's really, really big. All the same, now I'm going to make this 20 feet away. The picture may not accurately represent our theater of the mind. I'm going to say it's 20 feet away from you.
It's okay, because I realized I can fly.
And by the way, its reach can get you from where it's standing.
Yes, but I reached. Hold on. Aha. So, I'm going to spread my wings.
Yep.
I'm going to fly up to it.
Okay.
And I'm going to hit it very hard.
Sure. 25. Your battle... so you fly up to it. Your battle axe it sinks into one of those exposed ribs, and you just get a sickening, very moist sound as it cleaves into it 2 times, in fact. And the bone bleeds, but not lava, rather a viscous blood.
You get... Quick question. For the Colossus Slayer, because I already hit it once, it'll take effects on second hit?
I suppose that would depend on how the ability reads.
That's how it reads.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it works on the second hit.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
let
you
me
can
add...
only hit it once per turn, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be your first attack. So
Yep, that's
you
true.
both hit.
Yep. And then... That was all one action.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus action. Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
I am going to back away out of its reach without triggering opportunity attack.
Sure.
Looks like they modified roll some. That's an...
Okay. So you go up to this thing, you start hacking away. You take a big chunk out of its ribs with just gross, the sound of metal sinking into wet bone, and then you fly back before it has a chance to react to you. Is there anything else that you'd like to do?
That's it. It will stay in the air, just for reference.
Okay.
But nope, I'm in and out.
I would know your hurt. And this thing steps and reaches forward, and with a speed that its size belies, it is going to make a series of attacks against you, Kazimir.
That's fine.
Is it 20 hit?
Yes, it does. But now you need the 24.
$28 hits. And higher.
Shit. Plus 17.
The first one hits, and it quickly, with a flat hand, uses the pointed ends on its hand to pierce you right in the chest. Quickly, while you are impaled on it. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Let's take things one at a time. $25 damage as you're impaled by a claw.
Oh. Pull the calculator.
It then brings you close. It opens its mouth, and just a foul-smelling wind emanates. It smells... I cannot describe it. However, the smell isn't what you have to worry about. You are going to have to worry about... the fact its teeth also sink into you, dealing another 25 damage. Skewers rakes you across the teeth, and then goes to... you think it was going to slam you back down on the platform. The distended arm, instead of whipping forward to slam you down, maybe it's going for momentum, which is in itself a horrifying thought, because it's an extra bit of movement you can take before being slammed down. However, your body, you twist, and you find that the point of its horn is very quickly headed for your chest.
Mm-hmm.
And you are impaled, then torn off the horn for another 14 damage. And, well, it steps forward a little ways, such that it's only 10 feet away from you. Well, both of you now. If you want a little bit more distance, you have a little distance, Bright. I don't know, you could back up another 10 feet as you're in the middle of these wide stone stairs. But you've seen that this thing has just lashed out. And now, what would you like to do in response to this?
For me, is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you know, it's kind of bad right now. So I guess I'll go ahead and cast a hold monster. Yeah, I'll cast a hold monster. That's
Okay.
a good one. So we just leveled up. And yeah, that's a wisdom save. So.
It's a 26.
Oh, come on. Yeah, 26.
Okay.
How does he have plus 14 to wisdom save? Holy smokes. That's a lot. Okay. Well, maybe can I go and move behind one of these sticks?
Sure.
So,
Bloop.
yeah. That way maybe I can get half covered.
Okay.
Better than nothing. Okay, that's all.
Kazimir, we're back to you. How are you looking?
Less than half. So pretty bloodied. Is my blood silver?
No, your blood is more the color and texture of that ooze that was spilling out of the weird gelatinous people that kind of started this whole transformation for you.
Does he get to make a save? A mutation save?
No, I think it's fair to say he might very well be suffering the same consequences as you.
That's fair. Let's see. How tall do you think this guy is?
Let's see. I'd say about 40 feet tall is fair. No, part of him is submerged in this lava, so you're not getting the whole of him here, but
Let me double check something.
oh, while you're checking, I should say that after Bright ended up sneaking behind the column there, maybe just in time, as this thing is once more going to take aim at you, Kazimir, and it's going to make one poke attack at your chest.
That's another attack.
It does. It gets to take actions between turns. For some strange reason. for 21 damage.
Okay. And now 22.
And it is your turn.
I'm going to dash and fly up 100 feet.
Okay.
And bonus action. No, that's an action.
Are you provoking an AO, or do you still have that
No,
ability?
because of Zephyr Strike.
Okay. Okay, so you're taking the move action and the dash action on your turn? Okay, so you are 100... Oh,
Yeah, I'll be switching to my bow, but I am 100 feet up.
all right.
I do not have a bonus action that I can take.
You do that, and then after your turn, but before its, you see Bright... Well, Kazimir, you have a front row seat here, but unfortunately for you, Bright, you're going to be in the splash zone for this. As it looks like this thing doubles over for a moment, its back looks like it's boiling with just that bubbles and things that rupture, and two wicked-looking wings just explode from this thing as it roars in pain. Not even fury or frustration at Kazimir. This is... You are a very empathic person, Bright. This is pain. And I would like you, Bright, to make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can... and you can do it at advantage because you're behind some cover. But a lot of this mutagenic goo just explodes over the area.
Yay for my advantage.
Yeah, well, so at least it wasn't an 8, but you do have a 10. So now what I'm going to need you to do is make a con save.
That I can... Well, I would say... I don't know. Oh, okay. 21.
Okay. Alright. So this splashes on you, and Bright, you are... This certainly feels... It feels similar in some ways, but this is a much more potent effect, as you quickly kind of scrape it off on, it's like a little bit got on you, but you're able to kind of scrape it on, inert materials before it, like, soaked in and really got to you. It tingled similarly, but there was something just an underlying power to it all that wasn't just a splash and effect. This seemed a lot more potent in some way. However, you don't have to worry about that. Now, what Kazimir does have to worry about is that after Kazimir's turn, these wings rupture out. The thing roars and sort of stoops down and jumps. Beginning to fly up. And what I need... What do I want to do here? I think... because it has roared... I need Kazimir to roll... Let me find the save. Here we go. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, Kazimir.
No, I can't. I can't do that. Oh, maybe I can. This is a 19 pass.
Oh, let's find out. Let's see if you can stand defiant in front of this thing here. This is... Yeah, so, it does command... it does command you to show it your heart. And there's just this... I don't know, just like you had approached it before, there's something in your mind that stirs that, going and stepping before this thing and, and showing off to it is, you're giving your master what it wants. You know, you're being a good boy or even the best boy by following your commands. However, that does not seem to. Well, you can voluntarily do it. However, you've been ordered to do something, and you stand defiant. It is going to continue to move, and it is going to be. Let's see. If it got its movement, you went 100 feet up. So it is 20 feet away from you now, Kazimir.
Mm-hmm. So it moved 80 feet?
Yes, it did. And now its turn passes and goes to Bright. Bright, this thing is 80 feet in the air from you. It doesn't seem to recognize you're there or care that you're there. Perfect time to just slip away and let Kazimir just take care of this thing. If you want. That's up to you, though. What's Bright going to do? Oh, yeah, I can't hear you if you're talking.
Right.
Oh,
right,
there we
right,
go.
I'm on mute. Sorry. It was a while. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I can't say I hadn't thought of that, but I'm not sure what to say. I mean, I am evil brain now, so I could totally do that. But
Might be an intelligent thing to do. You've seen what this thing does.
yeah, but at the same time, I don't know that he's actually intending to kill Casimir. It doesn't feel like that to me. I mean, actually, can I make an insight check to see if I can get an idea? Because he's just talking about, I want to see your heart, and there's been monsters or guards or people are always checking our hearts here. It's kind of a thing. So
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
is
that
kind
he
of a
actually
thing.
went to kill Casimir.
Sure, yeah, I think
sneaking off would be, maybe the wrong choice.
you have some context for this, and you might have some clues in some other way. So sure, go ahead and roll an insight. Even with advantage taking you from a 7 to an 8, unfortunately, this creature's motives remain alien to you, Bright. You hear what it says, but...
Okay. Well, I can't... I don't feel like it's the right choice to abandon Casimir. Not... I mean... Casimir, don't listen to this. Not because I feel like loyally I want to protect him, but I think he's going to survive and I don't want to have to explain myself. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor.
Sure.
I know it's not going to do much, but this is getting a lot more stressful than I thought, and I'm still going to hide behind the biggest pole I can find.
There you go. That one's taller. Not necessarily wider around, but it is taller.
Well, that's good.
Maybe one of the bodies in the cages up above can catch a spell or something for you if it comes down your way.
Sure, why not? Okay, I didn't realize that this town was equipped with gibbets. I'm glad to see that. Okay, so that's all.
All right.
I guess. Sorry.
After your turn, Bright, Kazimir, you see that this thing flexes its wings and surges forward at you. And as it does, the horn that it had impaled you upon before kind of throwing you back, it surges forward and attempts to pierce you with the horn.
Mm-hmm. Don't even bother rolling. You're going to roll higher than 18, which is my current AC.
Okay.
It could crit fail.
Good.
Good. But it didn't.
14 damage. Piercing.
Oh, wow. I'm still up. We have 8 health left.
So you like this thing has gone through you. You're not mechanically restrained or anything. I don't know. You kind of push yourself off, but we do cycle back from Bright. It got an in between turn, and now it's over to you, Kazimir.
I'm going to go up 50 feet
Okay.
because I can.
So, like, you were right in front of this thing's face, and you were staring. By the way, this stuff is still pouring out of it down and kind of scattered to the wind here. But you were floating before it.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot it with a poisoned arrow.
Sure. Your arrow lodges into a juicy morsel on this creature. And, it's 4 piercing plus 8 Colossus Slayer, or...
Yes.
Okay.
And the poison was from Jaden's armor.
Okay. So this is, the arrow lands, and you hear, a bit of a hiss. It looks down at this just tiny little toothpick sticking out of it. That won't work? Question mark. Its eyes flare with light, though no more of the this ooze pours out of them. And it moves forward. Were you finished, Kazimir?
Let me check my bonus sections. Oh wait, I have 2 attacks. Hold on. Darn it.
Okay, that one will end up. It went a little bit too wide. Is it like just in the moment it winced because it said it wasn't going to work, and your arrow passed where it would have been otherwise?
Yep.
Okay.
That is it then.
Then after your turn, it is going to surge forward. However, surging forward is all that it'll be able to do with that in between. Then it is its turn. And it is going to move up to you. And make 3 attacks. And it would appear all of them hit. Mm-hmm. In this case, you have 8 hit points remaining, you said?
Yep.
Oh, actually, the static alone would have... All right. Bright, you see this creature spear forward with its elongated talons and just rip through Kazimir. And Kazimir is hanging limply on this thing's hand. It goes to you as this thing is clutching Kazimir. Like, Kazimir's not being covered in this lava, but it is holding Kazimir before its empty eye sockets as it continues to weep molten earth. What are you doing?
Right, cannot hear.
Sorry, I put myself on mute. I was looking through my character sheet for just a minute. Okay. I'm going to cast a major image. And the major image is going to be a projection of just a really big megaphone.
Mm-hmm.
And I can produce sound appropriate to the image being depicted. So the megaphone is going to say...
I'll allow it.
The megaphone is going to say, "Stop! You've won. You can just don't kill him. We'll give you whatever it is you want to know."
All right.
And I'm still gonna hide behind a pole.
Oh, Kazimir, by the way, while that one was a blow that took you into unconsciousness, it gets 2 more attacks, both with advantage, and are going to count as critical hits. They both did hit normally, let alone as a crit. So you died on the first strike where it impaled you, and then it also tried to rip at you and then scrape you across its horns. So that would have ended up negating any death saving throws you had, since you would have taken 2 failed saves per attack that was remaining.
Okay.
Bright, this creature that is holding Kazimir looks to you. Its head moves in your direction. And I need you. Oh. Well, you know what? Here's the good news, Bright. You don't even need to make a save.
Oh, good.
Yay!
Probably.
Not yet, anyway. Not immediately.
Yeah. Sure.
As it looks at you, the world around you spins and spins. And Bright, you not wake up, but your head stops spinning as you are somewhere. I mean, maybe still in the city. The bricks look the same. Looks like alleyways. Except there's just a wall, ceiling, floor. There's no source of light. However, your dark vision does reveal, in the dimness that your mind can render from it, that you can go forward with an option of left, forward, or right. Or behind you, you can go back to the left or to the right. However, there's no up and there's no down. There's only forward directions, lefts, or rights that surround you.
Huh. And it's all like a brick texture?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm stuck in the Windows 3.1 screensaver.
Yes, you are. Or you're playing like the first Wolfenstein or something like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, so it's probably like a maze spell. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go forward.
Okay.
See if I see something.
And thus we have Bright lost in a maze. And so, as Dungeon Master, my dear Bright, your story in the build-up has ended, as you have been cast into a maze. I'm going to come back to you later. I'm not done with Kazimir just yet.
Okay.
So, hang in there, my dear pink-haired friend. Kazimir, you're dead. I would like to ask you, as you feel this thing's talons pierce your body, just shish kebab your intestines, cut up your liver, pierce your lungs, crush your bones. What's going on in your mind? We open this up by talking about dreams and the things that you think about or meditate on. Some people might have a life flashback in such a circumstance, and that seems to happen in a sense when you trance, but This feeling you have coming on, it's not sleep, and it's certainly not a trance. And I'd like to know what is on your mind as you feel your life leaving you.
Probably not too much. Probably just the warm breeze of Islandia.
The warm breeze of Islandia?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
All right. You do, in fact, feel a warm breeze. And as your mind thinks of it, you open your eyes for a moment. As the warm breeze is the currents of that lava canal, rushing up to meet you as you're falling from cupped hands of this thing that impaled you. And if it wasn't for the fact you are already dying or dead, there's a crunch as you hit the bridge. But at least your head can look at its broken, awkward angle from your neck. Look down and see that lava and feel that warm Aslandian breeze. Congratulations, Kazimir the Hunter. You're dead. Kazimir, why are your eyes moving? Now that they're moving, it actually seems as if, well, the skies changed somewhat, and in fact, this thing has returned to the position you see it at. Your eyes are open. And your neck is in some pain. After all, it's at a 90-degree angle over a hard edge. What are you thinking, Kazimir? Or if you're not thinking and this is more of a, oh, I'm confused and I'm not sure what to think, you can always make a perception check as you're laying there at this odd angle. Kazimir, out of the corner of your eye, around the corner over which your head lies, it appears that you aren't alone on this bridge. Inside you, Kazimir, inside your mind, it's one of those little red fuckers from the alleyway. And you can feel it's going through your pockets. What are you doing, Kazimir? Oh, I can't hear you if you're talking.
I would like to whip it with my tail if possible.
Sure. Kazimir laying out there, head at a 90-degree angle. You open your eye, you catch it. Your tail, this long, predatory appendage, rises up behind this small, unsuspecting little red fucker. And right through the thing's chest.
I would like to flick it in the lava.
And it tries to talk, but instead of words, not even air, just blood foams up from its pierced lungs. And it's twitching on your tail.
I would just like to into the lava.
Before you do, Kazimir, I know I've been calling for a lot of these lately. I need a Constitution save.
21.
This isn't to resist any kind of a mutation, but before you take a reflective action one way or the other, you stop for a moment as this thing is twitching, and you consider chucking it, which you absolutely can do if you wish. You are in control. But you do recognize dying must have taken a lot out of you, not including the organs that spilled out after you were impaled. But you feel famished, and seeing this substance flowing down your tail in a luscious red arc, drops like rain, warm rain like you feel in the Aslandian desert, plip, plip, plip on the stone. And for a moment, you lick your teeth, only to find that two of them aren't as you once remembered them. For you have two prominent fangs, Kazimir.
Very interesting.
You can think that, but talking right now is tough because you're working on about half a lung. Your body is not unbroken, but you are unalive. You can still toss the little red fucker off this bridge and into the lava, if you wish.
I would like to use my tail to bring little red fucker up to my face.
Sure.
And take a large bite out of it.
If it was only on the precipice of death, you've at least pushed it off that ledge, Kazimir, as you sink your fangs into it. And you realize that this is the best meal that you've had. You've eaten a lot of animals. You've probably even drank blood in other certain occasions. And you've had a lot of vegetables and maybe even the marrow from bones. Perhaps memories of roasting chickens over a fire, or making rabbit jerky come to your mind, as you do have a very vivid one from all the meditation you've done over your years. But nothing satisfies you like draining this little pickpocket's every last fucking drop he has in his body. And as you do, your body doesn't mutate. However, your body does repair itself as you feel your intestines wriggling inside you, reworking themselves, repatching them. You feel your liver sort of pulse and grow. Dead pieces kind of sloughing off to be replaced by dead pieces? Your body's returning to how it did. Interesting how that might work in the future. But this little thing, it at least is able to... Oh, that feels good. Unfortunately, your knee is still protruding from your leg about halfway up your thigh. And there's a couple ribs that are sticking out, And there's that one that's also about 2 feet away from you on the bridge. But you can stand up and limp a little bit, having drained this thing. What are you doing with the husk?
Toss into lava.
Burns up.
How are my wings looking?
Broken. Compound fractures. Rips in the leather. Hurts like a son of a bitch. Makes you hiss anytime you flex it, but you got him.
Okay. I'm going to just grab missing rib for now.
Sure. And kind of put it back in there for storage. There's space for it in your chest cavity.
And I'll just tuck it in. It'll heal itself eventually.
Sure. Well, you've gone from being dead to a broken and mostly useless thing. Congratulations, Kazimir the Mighty Hunter. You were able to surprise impale just some shit-kicking nobody. And you are still hurt, and you're still falling apart. Bright's nowhere to be seen. Mordecai's nowhere to be seen. The professor. There is that thing that is chained up again to the pole, and the other ones that loom. The sky still has churning clouds, one-directional lightning, the occasional fireball to liven up the party. What are you doing?
I'd like to... Sorry, I'm reading something. That doesn't quite show me where it is. Do I see anyone around?
Go ahead and roll another perception. You can do this at advantage, as it seems as if some of your senses are enhanced.
11.
I said roll at advantage, not the same number twice. It's all right.
Kazimir only has one good eye. Can't blame him.
Well, that's fine. You don't see anything, though it does sound, perhaps around this corner, you know, so you're on the bridge here, you're kind of getting up to your feet. It does sound as if maybe there's people in the distance over here. No, nothing in particular. You're not making out anything anyone is saying, but there does seem to be signs of activity.
I will limp my way over there.
Sure. You start, ow, ow.
I'm going to pop a cure wounds. Just to numb.
All right. Certainly. Your magic flows through you. It feels different than the other times you've had to self-medicate, Kazimir. As once you're still feeling your body put itself back together. Which I guess is a good thing. The bad part is that as your nerve endings regenerate, you get to feel your cracked teeth reinsert themselves back in your gums. You get to feel fingernails growing out from your skin from where they were jammed underneath it in your fall. You get to feel every little bit of your body waking up again. And Kazimir, why don't we put you here? Because Kazimir, you hear the sounds of these people living their days, or however they measure time here. In fact, you even see now Maybe your one eye is still ruptured, and we'll have to narrate that being put back together. But you can even squint and see that there is a content, goat-like person taking an empty cart away towards, wherever they got the cabbages, or the flesh roll-ups, the body parts, the masonry, the things that these people sell and trade in, the gold coins that are weirdly valued. But you see this goat person you remember from before. No one else really cares. Except Kazimir. There's a little mushy person, about the size of Bright. Maybe a little smaller. We'll say 2 feet tall. Looks like it's made of, looks like it is made very much just out of lard. Just kind of a slightly pearlescent underlying yellow color, shiny, slick, just this fatty creature that stops kind of as it and looks up to you.
Oh, gee, mister. You look really weird. Are you okay?
You just stab it with tail.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
I already did.
Oh, well then I'll need to go ahead to that screen. Oh.
I'm also going to do it.
Are you pulling it back in the alleyway? Sure. And back into the darkness. Kazimir, as you drink down this thicker substance, this just pure fat. Not even trimmings, that's all it is. Your body becomes healthier. That rib you feel growing out of the broken projection from your rib cage. Your organs aren't just regrowing, they're repositioning themselves. The holes in your wings begin to heal. And even you get a nice little shiny hue to your scales. You're not whole yet. But there's a whole city out there, Kazimir. No one's watching. No one seemed to know, and if they did, they didn't care that you took this thing off the streets.
Where is next person?
Where do you want to go?
I don't want to venture too far. Well, I'll walk out into the street.
Sure. You walk into the street. It's about a dozen assorted humanoidish things going about their business.
What a small little gribblers.
Why don't you make a survival as you go on the hunt? That 11 again. Nothing small, but Kazimir, there is that odd botanist that you had talked to before. The one that was really trying to squeeze every last drop out of you all for those yew-berries. Seems to be minding its own business in an alleyway, whistling some kind of a tune. Is checking crates. Make a perception. All alone. In fact, his store even says closed. people probably won't be coming by here.
Out of curiosity, can I tell what's in crates?
No, he's digging inside them. But if you're curious enough, you can always walk up and look yourself. Just step right beside him and ask. Or look.
I'll walk over.
Sure.
What are you doing here?
I'm traveling. What's that?
Things you haven't bought. Leave. Remove yourself from my premise.
Alright.
Come back when the damn sign says open.
Alright. I just tail whip claw.
Sure. Metal, yeah, both of those are certainly going to hit.
You fucker! You'll pay!
And, it is going to struggle, as you haven't exactly one shot. This isn't one of the little ones here. So, what I would like... Oh,
Bonus action attack with these.
say it again?
Because they're small.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get the bonus action attack.
Oh, yeah. That's also going to hit. So, viciously, in a 3-strike combo, super quick. It seems like you might be looking for this person's heart as well, but probably not for the same reasons that other thing was. Wherever it is now, behind you, whatever it was doing, who cares? Fuck that thing. You feel powerful. You are the dominant creature here. And I would like you to make an athletics at advantage.
I'll use my +1.
Sure.
And also to avoid 11s.
This thing tries to rip itself off of your tail and to spin around to begin to cast a spell, but you hold it close. And you rend it again. Now just roll a d20. It can't cast spells if it doesn't have a throat. You rip its throat out. Verbal components don't work so well. Roll another d20. That's still going to be enough. Somatic components don't work so well when your fingers are broken and bent backwards at the knuckle. Oh, but what a waste, Kazimir. It's lying on the ground twitching. Its hands have been stomped backwards. It's been pierced through by your tail. And now it's leaving a mess on the ground.
I believe you use every part of the animal. I'm going to drink its blood.
Very well. Easy enough to do and no roll involved. You're drinking this greater being, at least compared to the little things you were feeding on before. You're feeding on its blood. This is who you are. And what you are. And what you do. It's that same voice from the thing that was chained. You have laid bare your heart. You are now living your dream. The apex predator. You have proven yourself. Have fought me. And given me what I wanted. And now you blessings. Maybe you'll go on to find another giant. Until then, I'm happy to loose you on this cursed place. This damnable pit. Hunt, my Kazimir. Hunt and eat and prove yourself. Always must we prove ourselves. Kazimir, while your body has repaired itself, and you feel strong and even stronger than you were before, in a couple ways I'll get to, you've been loosed on the city. You have been set free through death and service, of a sense, to this thing that has freed you and has looked upon your heart, into your dreams, and helped you to become something that you've wanted to be for a very long time. Things that you have respected, these predators, things you've mimicked, things that you have incorporated into your life. You've eaten with them or you've eaten them. And now, in this horrid, fetid hellhole of a city, you have become the hunter. Before we wrap up with you disappearing into the ever-winding maze-like streets of this place, Kazimir, there's a couple things I want to go over with you. First things first, this isn't a physical mutation, but I would love for you to roll a 1d100. One. Kazimir? You are possessed of a madness in this state. And your madness is as follows. My anger consumes me. I can't be reasoned with when my rage has been stoked. Or perhaps slaked. As you aren't done feeding just yet. As well, Kazimir, you are going to get a plus, you'll get a +4 divided in a way that you would like to strength, wisdom, or both in 4 points as you would like to split them, as your body is suffused with this predatory instinct, this hunter's instinct.
So four score points?
Yeah, you get 4 points that you can put into strength, wisdom, or a combination of both.
Well, my strength was 16. It's going to be 20 now.
As well, if you don't already have these spells, or actually these are going to be things that you can cast once per rest without a spell slot. You are going to get to cast Hunter's Mark, Beast Sense, and Slow once per day for free. Hunter's Mark, Beast Sense, and Slow. You are also going to get an interesting little trait. this trait is called Unerring Tracker. Unerring Tracker. If you just want to make I'll go over the details with you, but if you just put that down, that way we can take a break and I can put Bright through the ringer. You are also going to receive something called Incite the Hunters. Which I will review with you. And lastly, and an excellent springboard into Bright's scenario, you are getting a feature called Labyrinthine Recall, or Recall. This one's easy. You can perfectly recall any path that you have traveled.
That kind of doubles up with what's it called? Wanderer.
If it accents it, or you have a roleplay way of combining it, I'm open for it. But for everyone who's watching at home, congratulations, we've birthed a monster into this city. And amongst the others who must do what they're going to do here. Kazimir, enjoy your vampiric gifts, such as they are. And for everyone out there, we're going to take a quick little break so I can get things set up for Bright and also cool off, as this is a little bit warm. And when we come back, another tale of personal horror and spotlight for our dear pink-haired gnomish wizard. See you soon.